Welcome, welcome, welcome. Phoenixes, welcome to Phoenix Over 40's weekly live training. Today it's on banishing body chaos. And I'm Noi, coming to you from beautiful Hawaii. As you are joining, I invite you to drop your location into the chat section so that we can see where all of my beautiful Phoenixes are from. I want to see where you're all from. Let me just renew the group here so that I can make sure that we're going live. Okay, it looks like we are going live. I'll try to keep my eye on everybody that is on live in Facebook. But let me know where you're coming from. I want to hear where everybody is in the world. Welcome, welcome. Hi. So ladies, how important is your body to you? You see, I believe that if our body is in chaos, our life is in chaos, right? You know, it's really difficult to function normally, let alone make healthy choices for ourselves and for our families if our body's not working optimally, right? If you agree with that, give me a hell yeah or a thumbs up emoji in the chat box. I want to see all of that lovely energy. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Hey, Leonie, nice to see you. Good, thanks for joining me. Hey, if you're new to the group, again, my name is Noi, short for Kanoilenio Ko'olau. Again, just call me Noi. And remember, it rhymes with joy, which is an easy way to remember it. And Phoenix Over 40 is my health and life coaching business that I created for women navigating major changes in our middle ages. You know, I'm on a personal mission to help thousands of women who decide to activate their true potential later in life, after decades of self-limiting strategies have piled up and make life harder than it should be. You know, I do this because when I was 40, I made the biggest shifts in my life toward becoming my bravest self. And that doesn't mean that you have to be 40 to belong here. But you might be 30 or you might be 50. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you resonate with the idea of becoming your bravest self and finding the road rockier than it should be, then my vision and my message is for you. If you guys are welcome, come on into the live. You can join me either live on Facebook or live via the Zoom link that is in the invite. Either way, you'll be able to interact with me, although the Facebook is about 20 seconds delay. So if I don't get back to you right away, let me know. And if you can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up so that I know that the sound is working. It looks like the video is working, but let me know that everything is coming through okay. Right, so this is the second video in our Moving from Chaos to Curiosity series. The last video mapped out the 3 elements that everybody needs to ignite the Phoenix fire. So if you haven't got a chance to watch that video, make sure to comment blueprint so I can share that link with you. And then you can reap for the full rewards of this whole comprehensive series. But if you're joining me live today, I do encourage you to comment throughout the video, engage with me. We can customize this content to your unique needs. You know, I thrive on kinetic energy, not potential energy, right? I'm a fire, I'm a phoenix, I need kinetic energy. So as you show me love, I will give love in return. So give me a heart or a thumbs up as you're going along so that I know that you're out there and I can return that love to you. And even if you're on the replay, make sure to give me your hearts and your thumbs up so that I can receive them in my little Facebook machine and I can see your energy and share mine with you as well. You know, my goal, as always, is to add value to you and your unique path. And so we're going to do that a little bit of a recap as I share my screen again. A little bit of a recap on what we focused last week. You know, the body optimization is one of the 3 primary focuses of the Phoenix Fire. And as I discussed last week, the Phoenix Fire transformation requires 3 things, and those are the 3 elements of fire: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Or in the Phoenix Over 40 system, those are vision, plan, and accountability. Any transformation in your life is going to require all 3 of these elements to be strong and strategic and in balance. And in our program, we have 3 focuses that we focus on because we believe that if we don't attack these 3 things, that nobody can have lifelong change. And those things are body optimization, mind mastery, and spiritual centering. If we have these three things, then we know that our whole lives are in balance. Everything's a system, right? Our whole lives are in balance. And so today we are going to be focusing on the body optimization principles that we use in our Phoenix Over 40 transformation system. So these are the what we do, okay? These are the pillars of what we do. And here's a little more information. This is why you see on the banner in the group and on my website, if you go to phoenixover40.com, you see reshape, refocus, and reconnect. These are the three pillars of what we do. Reshape our body so that nutrition and our wellness habits are in par, which allow us to face our challenges and create change with more energy, clarity, and strength. Okay, and then mind mastery, which I'll be focusing on next week in our live training. It is to identify and refocus our belief systems and our subconscious programs that are preventing us from igniting joy, embracing change, and living the life of our dreams or our bravest self. And then spiritual centering. These are discovering the secrets that allow you to reconnect to your inner wisdom and use that power to heal old wounds, build your resilient strategies, and create unique strategies for your unique bravest self. These are the what we do here at Phoenix Over 40. And today we're going to be focusing on our body optimization principles, which I will be sharing with you here today. The how we do it is those pieces of the fire. We have in our system, our fire starter framework, which is our ability to help you create your compelling vision, not just any vision, a compelling vision, one that pulls you toward it. And then we have a strategic plan that has the right steps in the right order to address all of the things that are needed, which basically those core focuses, those body, mind, and our spirit. Our strategic plan addresses all of that, along with milestones and risk mitigation strategies and everything that goes along with that. And of course, there's that support and accountability you can get with one-on-one coaching, as well as some group settings, as well as the resources we provide. All of that goes into our support and accountability. And the fire starter framework, the bonfire blueprint, and the accelerant element, those are how Phoenix Over 40 operates in our transformation system. This is the how we do it. So I'm super excited to share those with you. I'm really excited. Hi guys, welcome. Thanks for joining me. All right, it's good to see you guys here. Okay, so again, today we're focusing on body optimization. These are the three principles that we use and that I used in my own unique journey to really reshape my body and come back with a lot of stress-related illnesses, some normal illnesses that had put themselves in my body, like my cancer, and just help to get my whole body back in shape after I had been self-abusing it, didn't even realize I was doing it for years. And so these are my body optimization principles that we use in our program. The first thing I want to touch on, what are the major health concerns for women today? Now, based on, I did a lot of research on this actually. We went out to the World Health Organization, the CDC, to get global and national different types of statistics. And it all comes down to these top 5 concerns for women. We have heart disease. You know, we're not, in terms of between men and women, men have more heart disease than women, that's true. But this is the leading cause of death in women in the world, globally, is heart disease. And 1 in 3 women suffer from heart disease. And most likely the reason why this is taking us out is because most women tend to just live with and manage the symptoms like breathlessness and tiredness and fatigue for years before they even realize that they have this. Because it almost feels like in today's day and age, if you're not stretched too thin and juggling so many things on your plate, if you're not feeling tired all the time, you're not doing your job right. You know, give me an amen if you agree that we as women have this kind of martyrdom mentality sometimes, that we have to be stretched at all times and just, you know, be every woman to everybody in order just to exist and be valuable to ourselves and our families and our communities. You know, so many women are suffering from heart disease and they don't even realize it. They just manage the symptoms. And that really hurts. That's really sad for me. I don't think that it should be that way. And then there's cancer. I'm a cancer survivor, breast cancer. Just 2 years now since I had my double bilateral mastectomy. But breast cancer, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, and cervical cancers, of all the cancers, are the leading killers of women. What do all those things have in common? Our hormones, our hormonal imbalances in our endocrine system, and just the way it is all balancing. This is an indication of chaos in our body. And did you know actually skin cancer is the most common cancer among men and women that is prevalent in today's day and age, skin cancer. But yet, skin cancer isn't as dangerous as those other cancers like breast, ovarian, endometrial, and cervical cancers. But cancer alone, I don't believe should exist. I believe there are ways that we can cure cancer, that we can help cancer. And I'm going to share some of those in my strategy with you. And then stroke. Every 40 seconds, someone suffers a stroke in the United States. Every 40 seconds. And 60% of the deaths of strokes occur in women. You know why? Because they also don't go get help right away. They also don't recognize when they're even having a stroke, or they feel like they don't have the right to ask for help. Asking for help it's an epidemic amongst women these days, guys. What is up with that? Why do we feel like we have to be heroes to everybody? We have to be able to ask for help. Additionally, women who are on birth control pills, hormone replacement therapy, and suffer from migraines are at greater risk of suffering stroke. And even women that have had difficult pregnancies, if you've ever had a difficult pregnancy, I know I had 3 difficult pregnancies. It increases your risk because it elevates your heart rate and your blood pressure. I was on bed rest for the last month of every single one of my pregnancies. And all 3 times I was sick, like puking my guts out the whole time, and yet still managed to gain about 50 pounds each. I don't know how that happened, but difficult pregnancies are real. And give me a thumbs up if you've ever had a difficult pregnancy, or somebody that has, and especially one that elevates your blood pressure. Having your blood pressure go up and needing to be on your left side for the last month of your pregnancy, that's hard. That's hard, mentally and physically. That's hard. Another one that cropped up that is growing, this is a growing problem, is autoimmune diseases. These are things like, it can be everything from osteoarthritis to osteoporosis and the loss of our bone mass when we go through the estrogen dips in menopause. And it can be, Crohn's disease. It can be, what is the thing that my sister has? Leigh, if you're on here, give me, where your skin, it's an autoimmune disease. Anyway, dermatitis, I think. These are all things that are actually growing in strength in women these days. And 75% of the time, they affect women. Autoimmune diseases do. 75% of the time. 30 million women in America suffer from autoimmune diseases. This is just chronic inflammation constantly going on. And the last one, which is also a startling fact that has actually been trending upward for the last 20 years, is depression. This is something we need to consider for ourselves and our daughters. Okay. Depression in women is on the rise. Women are twice as likely to be affected in their daily lives by depression that lasts for more than a couple of weeks. Affected. Men and women both suffer mental disorders and depression and anxiety disorders, but women are twice as likely to be affected in their normal lives. So that means they have to be on medication for it. They have to go see a doctor for it because they can't function because of this depression. And it's really something that we need to keep our eye on and find ways to help. And, I want to ask the question, these are the areas of greatest concern in our women. And I'm curious, how many of these things do we feel are actually in our control? Let's take a look at some of the risk factors that are for these things. The risk factors for heart disease are things like diabetes, metabolic syndrome, which is just hormone irregularity syndromes, high blood pressure, mental stress and depression. Look, you see the links? Low estrogen levels. These things contribute to heart disease. Lifestyle habits like alcohol and obesity, those are all things that contribute to heart disease. Not enough exercise. Cancer, increasing age. There is a genetic link to some cancers, but I can tell you they did the full genetic panel on me, and I don't have cancer, breast cancer in my family at all. And yet I got it. What's that about? It doesn't have to be genetics. Early onset of menstruation or menopause can be an indicator or a risk factor. I would like to suggest that it might even be an indicator. I'm throwing that out there, not a doctor, but I wonder if early menopause could be an indicator your body's trying to tell you that something is wrong. I've touched on that a little bit in the last video as well. Endocrine disorders, that's like your thyroid disorders and anything having to do with your hormones and adrenals. Carcinogens in our food, in our environment, in man-made medicines such as hormones, man-made hormones, xenoestrogens and phytoestrogens, those things all contribute to cancer. Now, stroke, remember, this is a big one, guys, every 40 seconds. And some of the risk factors of stroke are obesity, family history, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking and drinking. We know these things. They show it to us on the TVs all the time. These are things that we well know. Autoimmune diseases, major risks could be genetic, Crohn's disease could run in your family, or celiac disease, or it could be chronic inflammation caused by something being out of balance, by chaos in your body. Something is out of balance, causing inflammation. And leaky gut syndrome. I think that more and more people are realizing that leaky gut syndrome is real. Even doctors admit that there are people that just have leaky guts. I actually have a post on this that I share my opinion and a little bit of the background on what that is. If you would like me to tag you in that post, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or write leaky gut in the comments so that I can make sure that you get to see that post. I never know who Facebook sends all of my posts to. And then depression, the risk factors are endocrine disorders. Again, hormone imbalances, your thyroid, your adrenals, hormone imbalances in general, just those are indicators and those are causers. They're actually realizing more and more studies these days that there are links to physical disorders and depression. They're not saying that depression is just a psycho disorder anymore. This isn't just your mind playing with you. There is a physical link between your hormones and your depression, and physical and emotional stress, just the amount of stress we're under in our daily lives. Of course, psychosocial factors are going to contribute to that, because if you're feeling like you're in a war zone all the time, your body's going to react like it's in a war zone. And what does that do? Well, that messes with your adrenal systems, your limbic system's on hyper alert, your autonomic nervous system is super stimulated. All of that's going to cause chaos in your life. And this was kind of an interesting thing that I ran upon too. Did you know that 54.2% of women are on medication? 54, that's over 50% are on medication daily in their lives. I'm not talking about vitamins. I'm talking about actually prescribed pharmaceuticals. The pharmaceutical industry is making bank on us, ladies. Isn't that crazy? I mean, the most of the people in this world that are on pharmaceuticals are women. And I resonate with this because I was on probably half of them at some point. Seriously, I was taking more medication than meat. And so I get this. And I get that it's easier sometimes to throw medicine at it and make the needed changes in our lives. But how much more at risk are we putting ourselves if we don't make the changes that we need to make in our lives? And it gets harder. It gets harder when we get older, because not only are we suffering from the effects of needing to make change, period, change is not comfortable, but we're also dealing with the natural aging process. We're dealing with decades of built up sabotaging programs that are getting in our way. And so that is why I'm here today to share with you the body optimization program, because I want you to be present and available for your family. Because ladies, I believe your body matters. I believe it matters enough to optimize it. And I ask you to consider who else in your life would benefit from you banishing chaos and optimizing your body. How many of you are mothers of daughters? I want you to give me the word daughter in the comment box if you have a daughter out there. These are daughters who are watching us do and absorbing our behavior every day. They're watching us subconsciously, and they will carry on what they learned from us into their lives. You know, I want to encourage you with a unique post that I made about my daughter and how important it was. She was a game changer for me. You know, I had 2 boys, and boys are amazing. I love boys. I was a super boy mom, one of those rough and tumble, take them to the playground every day, kind of just love boys. Boys are great. But when I had a daughter, it was a game changer because I suddenly realized that I wasn't who I wanted her to become. And that shook me. And it made me make the change that I needed to make. And that's awesome. That's good. Whatever can help get you there and inspire you to show up for yourself is worth it. Because I needed to show up for myself so that she could learn that she was important to show up for too. And I believe very much that if we heal our women, we heal our world. You know, women are the cornerstone of our families and communities. You know, we're the ones who volunteer for all of the nonprofit organizations and school events, right? We're the worker bees that are organizing the Advent festivals and the family parties. We matter to this world. And it's our responsibility, ladies, to adjust our own mask before adjusting the mask of others. If you agree, give me an amen in the comments. If you agree that women play a significant role in this world, we are world changers. And I want to help you strategize your change and create a body that shows up for you when you need it most. A body that is full of energy and vitality. A body that looks and feels vibrant and alive. Our confidence, our courage, our clarity all increase when our body is working optimally. So I'm honored today to share with you the 3 principles of the body optimization program. This is one of the pieces of our bonfire blueprint, part of our step-by-step strategy, our game plan for the women that go through our 90-day transformation program. In the action plan of the transformation program, we affect all 3 areas, body, mind, and spirit. These are the focuses of our system, but this today is the principles, the 3 major principles for our body optimization. So I'm going to share my screen, going back and forth. It's hard. Deal with me here. Okay, the body optimization program. Okay, the very first thing, find your vibe. What does that mean? What does that mean? No, find your vibe. Find your vibe means you are unique. Okay, you deserve unique food, unique movements, you need unique plans, unique care. We are not cookie cutter, guys. And the $4 billion wellness industry wants you to think that you are. They want us to buy into the idea that they can sell us a fad diet, and as long as we stick to it and we follow it rigidly, that it's going to work for us. But I can tell you from personal experience, I bought into that for decades. And I wasn't one of those yo-yo dieters that just throws money at a problem, tries to follow it, and then falls off the wagon. I actually did my research. I'm a total nerd. I did all the science. I understand how the ideal protein works, how ketosis works in our bodies. I understand how intermittent fasting affects our bodies and can work for some people and not others. I understand the blood type diet extremely well. I understand how paleo works. I understand all of those. The zone diet, that was a great one. I really enjoyed understanding how blood sugar affects these are though cookie cutter programs. Not every person can just go on a cookie cutter program and thrive, especially since it's only addressing one piece of the puzzle. This is why we address all mind, body, and spirit. You can't just look at a diet program and think that it's going to work. As a matter of fact, it can be more destructive than good. And I'll tell you my experience. When I was trying to do it their way, it wasn't my way. But the act of outsourcing my wisdom created chaos in my body and made it so that my body didn't believe that, God actually believed that it was broken. Finding your vibe is about reconnecting to your inner wisdom, the physical bodily signals that were designed to guide you toward healthier choices. By going on so many different diet plans, I messed up my body's leptin and ghrelin signals. These are the hormones that your body uses to tell you when you're hungry and when you're full. Okay, so for instance, my ghrelin, that is the hunger hormone, the thing that makes your tummy growl and you all of a sudden feel like you're thinking about food. You ever notice those? Those are the signs that your body's telling you that you're hungry, right? Well, my ghrelin wasn't working right anymore. It would actually start working for anything, for boredom, for stress, for uncomfortable emotions, for sadness. It was going on overdrive, but it wasn't actually working when I was hungry. Matter of fact, I would eat an entire meal that I should definitely be full after, and I would still have the grumbling in my stomach. It didn't make sense. And so I started linking emotions to my ghrelin levels. Has anybody ever emotionally eaten? Where you are actually trying to make yourself feel happy by eating food? I know I am notorious at this. I'm sure I'm the only one that suffers from emotional eating, but if you've ever suffered from emotional eating, give me a thumbs up in the chat or show me some love, because I think that we all at some point have suffered from emotional eating. But going on yo-yo diets actually physically messed up my ghrelin to the point where I couldn't trust it anymore. And I developed the belief that I couldn't trust it too. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then my leptin signals. My leptin, that's what tells you when you're full, stopped altogether. Couldn't get full. And it's really difficult to stick to diets when you don't feel satiated, when you don't feel full. And so I would either overeat, or I would eat too much or too often, just trying to get full. And then by the time it would actually trigger, my stomach was so full that it was uncomfortable and I was feeling uncomfortable. My leptin signals were broken, straight up broken. And it was really interesting, and I hate to use the word exercise. You'll hear me say movement, because I feel like exercise has become a dirty word in my mind, okay? And that might be cool for other people, but exercise is the same as religion for me. I don't like that word. It just means a structured set of rules that you're going to fail at. And exercise caused inflammation in me. Let me tell you how this little thing played out. So I was trying my best to get into a calorie deficit, to build muscle, like they said that we have to, because we lose muscle after age 30, blah, blah, blah. And so I was working out like these CrossFit moms that you see on the TikTok. You ever seen those? These women are amazing. They are doing these fun little TikTok, dance movements that are like CrossFit movements. I would binge those. Oh my gosh, I would get lost. I had to take TikTok off my phone. But, and because I was doing that, of course, I was getting flooded. I was in the algorithm to get flooded with diet and exercise programs that were flooding my consciousness. But trying to do those exercises were actually doing my body more harm than good, because I didn't realize, when I wasn't listening to my body, I didn't realize I had degenerative disc disease. It runs in my family. It's one of those genetic things I'm never going to be able to get away from, but I can prevent it by not getting inflammation. I can keep it at bay, but instead I was working out so hard that it was causing pain in my body. The pain was stimulating my nervous system, was flooding my body full of cortisol. When cortisol was running through my body, I was retaining fat and not metabolizing my food correctly. So then my food was sitting in my gut too long, which was causing leaky gut syndrome. And you can see how the whole house of cards falls down. I couldn't be successful doing diet and exercise programs that were not my vibe. And so that is why in the Phoenix Over 40 transformation system, We teach you how to find your vibe, how to fix your body signals so that they are talking to you and you can interpret them correctly. That's the important part. Okay, so after finding your vibe, we are jumping to the second principle of body optimization, which is treat the whole system. In project management, there's something called the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle says that you should look at the 20% of what's going wrong that is causing 80% of the problems that you are seeing. Treating the whole system involves doing significant root cause analysis, using those strategies to really narrow down your focus to the 20% of what you can control that is going to treat 80% of the problems. But in order to do this, you got to look at the big picture. You know, in 2017, when I looked at the big picture and I saw all of the different diagnoses, I had hypertension. I had Barrett's esophagus, which is a precancerous condition of your esophagus due to too much acid reflux. I had generalized anxiety disorder. I had perimenopause, and I had fibromyalgia, which is another thing the doctors like to say where we don't know what's wrong with you, so we're going to call it fibromyalgia. After I looked at all of those things, I had to make a choice. Continue treating the symptoms and stay stuck to the medications that were being prescribed, or trace them all back to their most likely sources of the problems: stress and nutrition. They were stress-related illnesses. Think about it. Acid reflux, always aggravated by stress. Hypertension, definitely linked to stress. Generalized anxiety disorder, was it the cart or was it the horse? Was it the chicken or was it the egg? Could be that stress created a self-fulfilling disorder, right? I mean, all of those things, they were all stress related, and I had to adjust my life, and I had to look at the role that my brain and my spirit were having on my body. You know, one of the things we tell our phoenixes is we're always winning the game that we're playing. No amount of dieting was going to help me lose weight unless I dealt with the belief system that I had that my body was broken. You know, I believe my body was broken, it wouldn't let me metabolize my food. It wouldn't let me implement new habits. And no amount of fighting for my marriage would help me de-stress because I was living in a war zone, right? It all comes down to doing root cause analysis, and you have to look at the big picture. And I encourage you to write down all of your physical symptoms. Write them all down and put them up on a wall. I use sticky notes. Put all the physical symptoms that you have on a wall, and then start jotting down what the possible root causes, or at least possible habits, might be contributing to all of those symptoms. And then start making the patterns, connect the dots, follow them to the most likely habits and programs that are creating the most impact on the system. Focus on the 20% that are causing 80% of the problems. And that is what we do in our system as well. And more actually about this next week, if you want to join me, because I'm going to be talking about the mind mastery part of the whole program. So there will be actually more discussion about how all of that fits in as well. Okay, the last principle of body optimization is teaching for development. Let me explain. Have you ever heard the proverb, it's an old proverb, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Well, as I chased the symptoms and pleaded my case to the doctors, I was bounced from specialist to specialist to specialist, as they all studied a piece of the puzzle, right? And they prescribed their solution. Now, don't get me wrong, there is great value in consulting specialists. You know, they can order labs and tests that help me rule out possible root causes, but it was important that I looked at the entire picture, and more important, that I learned how to put the picture in focus. In the educational realm, I was a teacher for a little bit, and I actually taught youth ministry for 10 years. In the educational realm, there are two types of teaching. There's teaching for process, and there's teaching for development. If I'm teaching you a process, I'm simply instructing you on what to do and when. But that makes you dependent on me. That makes you have to come to me every time there's maybe like something to navigate or for the next step in the process. If I'm trying to help you in the long run, if I'm trying to teach you how to fish, then I'm teaching you for development. I'm coaching you on strategies that allow you to develop the skills and abilities to figure out what to do and when for yourself. There's a difference between a coach and a practitioner. I needed in my life a specific kind of help, a help that would teach me how to fish, not give me their prescription of what fish they thought I needed. I had to find someone that helped me bring those pieces into alignment, to trace them down to their root cause and strategize steps to address the habits that were causing the biggest chaos. I was tired of doctors who were coming to the table with their own assumptions and their own specific protocols that they live by from their own professional experience, but they weren't listening to me at all. Because the solutions that helped their other patients seemed to take me down rabbit holes that resulted in a lot of wasted time and money, if I'm being honest. And I needed to find someone that was open to listening to me, that respected my inner wisdom when I said, no, I really feel like there's a kidney connection here. Help me find what that kidney connection is. Oh, no, your kidney look good. Listen to me and teach me what I should know. Doctors tell you what to do, but coaches teach you how to think like they do. This is the greatest skill someone can give you, is the ability to create neural pathways in your own brain, to find the truth and build your resilience. Okay, resilience skills. That's what we build in the Phoenix Over 40 system. And this is why Phoenix Over 40 exists. It's not to sell you some cookie cutter program that addresses symptoms and proposes half-assed solutions. We have enough of that going on. Okay. As a life overhaul specialist, I stoke the fire in women ready to become their bravest self using my unique Phoenix transformation program. My role is to coach women to reshape their bodies, refocus their minds, and reconnect to their inner wisdom. You know, this is teaching for development. And if Phoenix is, if you want to develop the skills and the confidence to fight your chaos and achieve real freedom, then the next step is to comment the word brave below this video right now. And what will happen next is I will personally reach out to you via messenger, ask you a couple of questions, and if it makes sense and we're a good fit, then we'll jump on a free call to clarify your specific goals, help you work on that clear and compelling vision, and map out the game plan together. As I said before, the Phoenix Transformation Program uses the principles I taught you today as one part of the three major areas of focus. These are the three drums of this program. These are the things that we focus on, okay? We want to help you reshape your nutrition and your wellness habits. This is important if you're going to be able to have a vehicle that's working correctly and address the deeper issues, right? But yet it's the deeper issues that might get in the way. And so that's why we refocus our belief systems while we're doing it at the same time. The way that the steps work together is they address the surface level habit, but the habits lead to the belief systems, which lead to the identity change that is needed for long-term change. And that's the beauty. That's why you'll see reshape, refocus, and reconnect all over my website, all over, because this is what we do. This is what we do, and we do it well. We have helped many women accomplish things that they couldn't accomplish in any other setting because of the way that everything balances out to address the chaos in their life. This is what we do. This is how we do it. Okay, this is how we do it. And it starts with the strategy call. That is a part of the fire starter framework. We ignite the blaze with a vision so clear and compelling that it effortlessly pulls you toward your goal. You have a vision that's pulling you, not pushing you. We don't want to be pushing a rock up a hill. We want to be pulled toward our natural bravest self. We want that identity to pull us toward it. And it starts with a vision. And that vision has to be compelling. It has to be tangible. You have to be able, and that's what the Fire Starter Framework does. And that's what the strategy call starts with. And it's free. Just set up a strategy call. We'll begin getting into the weeds. And if it's a good fit, then great. If it's not, I have a network of other women that have a lot of different specialties that might be better suited, and I can give you a referral. It doesn't hurt. No harm whatsoever. And again, our bonfire blueprint, this is the plan. This is a comprehensive plan, not a cookie cutter plan, because it's focused on your unique needs. This isn't cookie cutter, but it involves the right steps in the right order. Change science is an art. It is an art form. And you have to address everything in the right order. Otherwise, your limbic system, that little amygdala, will, or I like, one of my mentors calls it the itty bitty shitty committee. In your head will block your ability to go any further. The drawbridge will go up. You've got to go sort of subconsciously through the back door, sneak inside, guerrilla warfare, and the accelerant element. This is a part of the accountability. If we don't have accountability to our programs, then we really don't believe in them in the first place. If you don't have accountability to a group or to another coach, you don't believe in it, because you're not, when the going gets tough, you're not going to show up for yourself. You need somebody on the outside to give you a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a kick in the butt. But you also need them to speak truth that they can see from the outside, because when we're in the middle of the storm, it's really hard to see where the storm ends, right? The chaos is all around us, and it was definitely all around me when I was fighting my way out of this storm. I needed somebody that was already on the outside of the storm to pull me out. That's why I love that one slide, Coaching for Development. This is somebody that's already made it, that's pulling you up. That's what a coach does, is they pull you up. They pull you up to where they are, to their level. Surround yourself, ladies, with people that are where you want to be, that can help pull you up to them, that are focused on your unique goals. Don't tell you what to do, but guide you, teach you how to do it. Those are the things that are going to get you the most. And this is how we do it. This is how we do it here at the Phoenix Over 40 transformation program. And so if you are ready, comment the word brave. It starts with a simple conversation. Thank you for joining me today. I am honored, as always, to be here. Join me next week, because we're going to be going over the mind mastery portion of our focus, because there is a specific strategy that we use with that as well. So I will see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Be brave, be bold, and be beautiful, Phoenixes. See you then.